I give Gary Parrish a hard time, but I do have PTSD with this position and with this size. And in his latest mock draft, the Portland Trailblazers' 11th overall pick, he has them selecting Jase Richardson from Michigan State. Did you know his dad played in the NBA?
I heard. I
heard
got his
about
dad's
that?
autograph on a Jordan.
Do you really? Jason Richardson's autograph?
Yeah, I had a
On a Jordan shoe?
Yeah, I had a pair
Okay.
of shoes, nondescript Jordan shoes, not
Yeah.
anything famous, just Team Jordan run-of-the-mill shoes. And I had one of them signed by Zach Randolph, and on the other side of the shoe, Jason Richardson, because they were teammates.
That's pretty cool.
Lost a shoe.
Oh.
And it was the year before he won the dunk contest.
Oh. Double sting.
Thank you.
That hurts.
It was like a random cool thing that I got as a kid.
Yeah, just like that's kind of a Randy Jackson, signing this samurai sword, a Jordan, but I get it,
I don't think that's the same thing at all. If I had Randy Jackson sign like a microphone, that would make sense.
Yeah, I guess it would. Jace Richardson, 11th overall. How's that make you feel?
I mean, I think everybody's going to feel how you feel,
Yeah.
but here's a couple things to weigh here. Is it the most exciting pick they could possibly make? No. That seems to be trending towards Carter Bryant or a Cedric Coward.
If he's there at 11. We don't even know if Carter Bryant's going to be there at 11.
We don't, and we keep throwing out the same names, and that's usually what draft season is, and then there's a random name that pops up the week before the draft. What I would say, though, is, one, I think he is on to something of growing up around the life, growing up with proper guidance of what it is like to be a professional athlete. And we've talked about this with UConn. I don't know how coming from a Tom Izzo-led program doesn't matter in any way. That's a dude that, he's won one natty, but he's had so much success that I think you got to take that in. I think that paired with the dad. Look, it's not the only reason you draft people, those reasons, but they are positives that I would take away from having that kind of player. And being 6'3" combo guard, I think what he's right on is the NBA model is you're probably more better served to go 6'6" and up and use the length. I think that's what Joe Cronin and this regime have shown us. But if Jase Richardson can guard two positions, be hyper-athletic kid who's all over the place, I won't completely dismiss the idea of it.
Yeah, I think my question would be what are the corresponding roster moves that come with it? That's my first question. If you're going to take another guard, we would agree there have to be changes to the roster?
Well, you're not taking him with the idea that this is your future franchise player.
I'm not arguing that you are.
Yeah.
I'm arguing that would you really keep Anthony Simon, Scoot Henderson, and Shaden Sharp and draft another guard with the 11th overall pick?
Would they really do that? I wouldn't put it past them.
Okay. So that's my only question to this.
Is Ant going to be here?
Yeah.
I mean, that's with the draft.
And having Jace be your backup guard that comes in, doesn't play a ton. You're not expecting big things out of him right out of the gate, but I prefer my rookies to play a little bit, especially when they're drafted in the lottery.
Well, but
I don't
you've
need
already
40
been proven
minutes
by
a night.
the franchise that's not a priority one for them.
They started Scoot Henderson in game 1.
And then they benched him.
And then
his minutes went down, and then Shaden started, and they benched him.
Sure, I'm just saying I don't think it makes sense to draft a guy if you're going to keep it. If Anthony Simons is in your long-term plans, drafting a guard with the 11th overall pick makes no sense.
He's
Would
not
you
a
agree
very
with that?
big dude, man. 6'3", 185.
He's very small.
He's not that. He doesn't weigh that much.
He doesn't
more than
weigh a ton. He's skinny. He's a little scrawny. 6'3", and that's being generous too. Michigan State fan chiming in saying, "I think this time around because we have the size and length at the 2 and at the wing and center, Portland can afford to draft an undersized playmaker. Not to mention it's been since Zach Randolph since I've been able to watch a fellow Spartan at the Motor."
Can I ask you this? If he became, and I know this is a sore name to bring up given the history of it, but if he became like a Pajemski, Gary Payton II type role guy,
I'd be okay with that at 11 overall. I don't have that high of expectation with the 11th overall pick.
Okay, then then I would say then you shouldn't be really bothered by that.
I mean, I am going to choose to be bothered by it because what are the other corresponding moves? Like, this was my thing with Klingon last year. It didn't make sense to me to draft Klingon with the 7th overall pick and then have 2 other centers still on the roster and play him 11 minutes a night for the first 3 quarters of the year.
And then also not try to trade the one who clearly is going to get hurt.
That made no sense. Yeah. That made no sense. There's nobody that can excuse that. And that's the way I would feel with this. So if you tell me Anthony Simons is on the block this summer and you're actually going to make a move there, he's on an expiring deal, you're going to send him to insert whatever team you want to insert here, and that's the trade that you make, I got no problem with you taking a guard with the 11th overall pick. I've heard rumblings they want to re-sign Anthony Simons. If you're going to re-sign Anthony Simons,
that's my take.
Still have
they're gonna
Scoot,
sign
still
him.
have Shaden, and then draft another guard. Where the hell are his minutes going to come from with the 11th overall pick for an unproven prospect that we have no clue if he's going to turn into something? I'd rather take a position of need. This isn't the best player available thing for me at 11. If you have 3 other guards still on your roster,
You're selling a franchise. You're trying to make as much money as you can, right? What if I told you the G League team sold a lot of tickets this
because
season?
Jace Richardson's in town, because that'll do it.
That'll
That'll get people to go. You know his
saying.
dad was Jason. Is he going to sit courtside?